Hello. Do you want to breathe with me for a little bit? Good. Now we're synchronized. You can do it again. So this story starts a couple of years ago. I was driving in the dark, in the night. My kids were in the back of the car. And out of the back of the car came one of those questions that only children can ask. It was like, hey, Dad, how do we make friends? I'm sat there and I'm thinking, I actually don't know how to answer that question. I don't know. I started asking some of my other friends, and sure enough, they didn't know. Friendships just happen. Friendships arrive in our life. That question became a quest. It became a profound life quest when a very dear friend of mine passed. With his passing, I felt a profound sense of a need to understand friendship, a need to understand our friendship, and in so doing, maybe be able to explain how it is that we make friends. Hello, my name is Jeff. I started my career in sustainability. I started working in sustainable systems. How could we make better friends with the world? I then moved to Baja California, and with two friends there, we set up the world's first midlife wisdom school. We worked together, and I also built a community, a regenerative community, thinking about how do we connect as human beings, and how do we live a better life? It's kind of an obsessive question. And here's what I learned. What I wanted to be true was that the clever things I was saying to people made their lives better. But what was really true was that what shifted people's lives in thousands of encounters was when they connected, when they made friendships. Friendships change our lives. Now, what we know is that loneliness is a killer. Loneliness is as deadly as smoking or obesity. There is a loneliness epidemic. Loneliness sits in the same part of our brain as hunger. We feel loneliness like an urge. It's a craving. It is our body's way of saying, I need people. The average American spends between 5 and 7 hours on a screen a day. That is about 1,800 hours a year. Our technology isolates us. It takes us away from other human beings and makes us lonelier and lonelier. And most of the time, we're not even aware of it, except that our bodies tell us we are lonely. Our bodies are giving us a message. We need other people. Even when we're in a crowd, even when we're at work, we can be disconnected. So what can we do? Relationships, relationships, relationships. George Vaillant was the director of the Harvard study. The Harvard study is basically the longest-running longitudinal study that said what makes human beings happy. And what he found and what he summarized was just those three words: friendships, relationships, relationships. So we know what feeds us as friends, as humans. If loneliness is like hunger, friendship is like food. It feeds our souls. I did a ton of research. I've been writing a book on this subject, and I've just been looking everywhere, and the science is incredible. This diversity of science. Friendship impacts our emotional well-being, our psychological resilience, our physical well-being, our longevity. Friendship, being in good friendship as we age, can add up to 15 years to our lifespan and our health span. Friendship can impact our business success, how likely we are to be successful at work. And obviously, also, friendship makes us less lonely. How did I not know this? How do we not know this? That friendship is literally the most important practice. We do yoga, we meditate, we run, we diet, we do all sorts of things to look after ourselves. But the most important practice of your life is hidden in plain sight: friendship. Okay, so here are 5 things that you need to know about friendship. The first of all, you need to understand your mindset. Before you even start making friends, you need to start thinking about how you think about making friends. There's this idea called the liking gap. We think people are going to like us less than they actually do. So here's the first thing: people will like you more than you think they will. Second, friendship is strangely predictive. Okay? So if you think people will like you, they tend to like you. If you think people won't like you, they tend not to like you. If you trust people, the research shows they will be more trustworthy. If you don't trust people, they will be less trustworthy. It is absolutely crazy, but in friendship, what you believe is what you receive. So manage your mindsets, make better friends. Okay, who knows how to do friendship? Look it up on the internet. There's tons of advice as to how to make friends. It can be very confusing. The first and the most important thing is, friendship isn't a popularity contest. I think when we went to school, we were kind of told that it's like, if you have lots of friends, you're good at friendships. Social media has made that even worse, right? If you have lots of followers, you're good at friendship. Forget that. It is a myth. Focus on a few good friends. Friendship is not popularity. When you're making friends, when you're connecting with people in the streets or wherever you are, do the basics. Start simply. Be curious. Hey, what's going on with you? Listen to people. Pay attention to people. What is going on with them? Be consistent. Show up with your friends. Be kind. These things sound obvious, but we so rarely do it for each other. Here's the killer. We're all busy. Life is incredibly busy. Time is the factor. When I tell people that it takes 100 hours to make a new friend, 250 hours to make an intimate friend, they say, my God, Jeff, I'm just too busy. I can't do it. I don't have time. My friends don't have time. There's no time. So this busyness problem can be solved. We can, again, let's just start simple, start small. The science of behavior change, the research shows that if you want to change your behavior, start small and celebrate your wins. Okay? So what's the smallest increment that you could add to your friendship time budget today? Is it 10 minutes? Is it 5 minutes? Is it 30 seconds? 30 seconds. Can 30 seconds make a difference? Yes, it can. My friend Javier, he phones people in the morning. Old people phone like this, young people phone like this. Javier phones people and he says, I'm going to talk for 30 seconds. I'm going to tell you everything I love about you, and then I'm going to put the phone down. He talks, he tells them what he loves about them, he puts the phone down. Imagine what it would be like to receive that phone call. Imagine how easy it would be to make that phone call. Call someone, tell them that you love them. Okay, so how many friends do we need? Again, the science here can be very, very baffling. Robin Dunbar, who's an anthropologist and a psychologist, says we need 5 close friends, 15 good friends, 50 friends, 150 just friends, and 500 people we know. There's a lot of humans. It sounds exhausting, right? One person can change your life. One person. I'm here today in Medellin because one person, I made one friend and he invited me here. One person can change the course of our lives. The last sort of idea I want to share, the sort of basic, is be brave. Asking people to be friends can be difficult. When you're feeling lonely or when you're feeling disconnected, saying, hey, let's be friends, let's hang out, let's get a coffee, whatever it happens to be. And then once you've done that, tell people what you need. My friend Jen moved to a new city, and in that city, she didn't know anyone, and we've all felt that feeling of being disconnected and isolated. She'd met a few people, and she said, hey, let's form a group, this Mutual Aid Society and Bird Appreciation Group. Exactly. They said yes, and they made rules together about what they were trying to achieve. The friendships that they made have been deep and lasting. People want to make friends, but you have to be brave, and you have to ask for what you need. Okay, a couple of things that are still kind of percolating in my mind about friendship, but that are kind of incredible. You don't have to make a phone call. You don't have to be clever and create a group, but you do have to find your own way of being a friend. I convene, I host dinners. What is your way of being a friend? In finding that way that you are friends to others, you find the way that you are friend with yourself. Friendship isn't static. It's not just something that it is. Friendship is a dynamic. Friendship is something we do with people. And when you do something with people, you create an energy. Okay? You have all seen people, you've all had people in your life who, when they are with you, they create this uplifting energy. They see the best in you, and they try and bring that out. I call that elevation, okay? Elevation is not positivity. Elevation is seeing the best of the person and the best of what could be, even when things are hard, and we've all got those people in our lives. So for me, the purpose of friendship, the thing that's starting to emerge is, maybe if friendship is a practice, something that we do intentionally, that we share what we're trying to achieve, we could actually elevate each other. In the same way that we could feed each other wonderful food as friends, maybe we could actually intentionally create a friendship vibe that would be elevating, which would be very, very cool. So let's rewind. I'm in the car, my son asks me, so Dad, how do you make friends? I think I have an answer. I think I have the start of an answer. Believe that people will like you, and they probably will. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate your friendships. Friendship is a practice. Make time for your friends. You don't need to be popular. One person can change your life. Be brave. Ask for what you need. And if you are able to ask for what you need and share what you need, you can create the vibe for your life. Friendship has changed my life. It has been the most important gift. If there is one thing that you do, if there is one message that you take from this talk, it is create a practice around friendship. Thank you.